We really do have some fun stuff to do today. I wanted to show you my coffee beans. I just got a big shipment of my coffee beans in. And so as you know, I get green beans and then I roast them and then I grind them myself and then I run them through a French press. And boy, they're good. Some of you have sent me cups that I can drink out of on coffee time. If you want to send me a cup, please do that. It's a lot of fun to feature your special cup. I've gotten cups from all over the country, so it'd be fun for you to send a cup in. I'll leave a P.O. box below in the description if you're interested. There are some days that it's time for me to wake up, film, edit, and make a video that I don't want to. And so when I start reading comments and you're saying, oh, David, we really gained so much knowledge from your videos. Thank you for doing them. I get inspired to roll out of bed and make a video. So keep on coming so that you can encourage me to make more videos. I appreciate that. But let's just get right into it. Here's Jay Arnold a week ago. He said, off subject, is there any advantages or disadvantages using medium supers versus shallow supers? Oh, good question. Let's see if I can do the math in my head real quick. A medium super, also called an Illinois super, that is 6 5/8 from the top to the bottom. 6 5/8 in kind of height of the outside box edges. 6 5/8. A shallow super is 5 11/16. Yep. So it's, let's see, let me do the fraction math on that. So if I subtract 6 5/8 minus 5 11/16, that's going to give me 15/16. Oh, well, yeah, 0.9375. So that's almost an inch. Let's go medium super versus shallow. The shallow is 1 inch approximately more shallow or shorter. And do I use them? I have some that I've gotten from other people that are very, very old. I bet they were made back in the 50s or 60s. And do I like them? I really don't like them. I don't like the shallow supers because they're shallow. I lose an inch of honey in the frame. So I'd rather use medium to give me a little more bang for my buck in honey collection. Now, if you're suffering from back pain and you don't like lifting up a 35, 40 pound medium super, it is going to be significantly less in that shallow super box. So if you get shallows, they're going to be a lot lighter to pick up. That's one way to look at it. All right, Noah Riding a week ago said, it would be really fun to hear about what kinds of bee genetic strains and types you've tried out and what your thoughts are on them. Well, I've worked with queens and raised queens for a long time and sold queens and used different strains, I guess, different genetics. And to be honest with you, I'm not too impressed about the different genetics. I know I'm speaking to a lot of people here, some that are very experienced beekeepers, and some of you are just thinking about getting into bees. You're thinking, if you're new to beekeeping, that if you find the right genetics, if you find the right breed of queen, that all your problems will be over. That a certain queen will not have diseases, will not die in the winter, will not have mites, will not experience, problems. That's not true at all. That's not going to happen. So Apis mellifera is still Apis mellifera, no matter if they originated in a different country. I guess if you look at it from the standpoint that Apis mellifera is Apis mellifera, it is true that there are going to be differences in genetics, just like, you can have 5 children, and even though the children are 50% mom, 50% dad, they're still going to have different characteristics, different hair color, different personalities, I guess. And bees are going to be like that. The genetics aren't saving the bees. Mites are going to be the same on different types of genetics of honeybees. And so you still have to fight mites. Now, it might be true that some people are experimenting with different kind of genetics that the bees can be more resistant to mites. but nothing is impressive to me. If it really worked really good, then we wouldn't still have mite chemicals and people wouldn't still be wrestling with mites. Everybody would be buying that special queen. So I think we're better off to find the best queen that we can from the best colony that we can, and then we can manage those bees no matter what their genetics are. So it makes no difference to me whether it's an Italian, whether it's a Buckfast or Carniolan, because when it comes right down to it, bees are haploid diploid genetics, meaning that this queen is going to mate with 20 or more drones. So if you do get a fantastic specialized inseminated queen and they replace her, they supersede her, well then you lose 50% of those genetics when she mates with other drones. So it's better for you to practice really good management and let Apis mellifera be Apis mellifera. That's my opinion. That's my thoughts. You asked for my thoughts. That's my thoughts. Okay. I don't understand. Oh, this is from Dean Matcham. He says, I don't understand why my hive ain't making honey. Any idea as the lady down the road is making honey? I have 5 hives. So down the road must mean they're pretty much in the same, area where they could all fly to the same places of nectar, but yet hers are outperforming his. Why is that? It could be a number of reasons. I do know that when bees are unhealthy, you may not observe with your eyes that your bees are unhealthy. They may have viruses, but yet they may not have the foraging forces, because even in the summertime, when bees have mites and they start dying from viruses, even in the summertime, you're losing bees that have viruses. In the winter, it shows up worse, because in the winter time, when bees die, there's not a big replacement because the queen doesn't lay as much in the winter time, so the whole hive can die really quickly. In the summer, when they're dying from viruses, the queen's still laying, and so they're replacing a big part of those that are dying. But bees that die from viruses, from mites, usually die before they even forage. So it could be that if your mites are out of control, and you may not know that, everything may look fine. Mites are hard to see with the naked eye, and population levels being low are hard to see as well. They may appear everything is fine, and it may not be. But if you don't have the foraging force that her hives do, if she's controlling the mites, that could be probably one of the big factors that I would go to first, is what are your mite levels and how healthy are your bees? Okay, Steve Jones says, David, do you like white plastic frames? I had some white plastic frames in one of my videos recently where we played in the top of the super box there. I don't like white plastic frames when I'm trying to look for eggs. Eggs are white, larvae is white, and when I look for eggs and larvae on a white frame, it's black foundation is so much better to find eggs on, because white eggs on black foundation really does stand out. So, but do I like them? I like them because they work and bees work them, and it's just harder for me to see anything. This person says, also, maybe I didn't hear you, but do the stainless steel ones last longer, or are the plastic ones a cost-worthy replacement? Now we're talking about queen excluders, plastic or metal. Of course, when I first started, we only had metal. Plastic is kind of a new thing. I personally prefer plastic queen excluders. I don't know if I've talked about this on videos before, but I feel that a queen excluder, a metal one, it has the wires that are on one side. There's the wires that go this way, all of them, but then we have support wires on one side only that are kind of few and far between on the other side. Now, if you put the queen excluder, the metal one, on upside down, where the support wires are on top, the virgin queens, or sometimes even mated queens, can actually start wiggling and pushing their way through, and they can get through it. It's not very common, it's kind of rare. But if you flip it over so that those support wires are facing the queen, she can't really glide and push because she hits a wire and has to get back down. Plastic queen excluders, they're just rectangles, and so there's no room for her to ever wiggle through. So I like that benefit as well. Thanks, David, for your videos. Vince, will you be doing a video testing for mites? You know, I've done videos testing for mites, several of them are here on YouTube. Type in on YouTube, David Burns mite tests, and you'll see my videos on doing mite tests. So I know I probably won't be doing another one because I've done them before. I realize some of you don't go back and look at my other videos. And I admit the quality is not as good in the older videos. Of course, you know, the appearance of me is not as good. I'm much better looking now than I was then in other lives. But certainly the quality is not as good back then. But it's good. I mean, we just didn't have the technology as we have today. But you'll enjoy watching those videos of me showing you how to test for mites. So type in YouTube, David Burns mite test, it'll show up. Alan says, great video. I like the shirt. Did you get your shirt in Boswell, New Mexico? Now he's referring to this shirt, the alien shirt that I wear sometimes. Yeah, I did not get it at Roswell, New Mexico, where all the aliens apparently hang out. I bought this off of Amazon, and I leave a link in descriptions in my videos. I like it. I actually got it when the government was releasing their findings on UFOs. I think it'd be cool. I'm fascinated by outer space and technology, as you probably know by now. I find it hard to believe that we're the only ones in the whole existence out there. It would be cool. It's probably just a fantasy of mine, but it'd be cool if we did make contact with other people from other places. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. And I don't know if it really is true, but it's kind of mind-boggling. It's kind of entertaining to think of. I like sci-fi. I watch a lot of sci-fi movies. I think it's cool to think about that. Next question from Alan. When you cannot see the queen in the super, why did you not simply remove the queen excluder and shake all of the bees off into the box below it? That would have given you confidence that the queen is not in the super. I think I answered that, but anyway, I don't like to shake brood frames. I actually, years ago, actually was doing some work with my friend John Zavishlock. We wrote a book together on raising queens through, I think, Arkansas University Extension or something like that. But we actually did some filming and videotaping, and I noticed somewhere in the footage that when I would shake frames, like bang it to get the bees off, it was dislodging the larvae on the bottom of the cells and making them fall on the side walls. And that would cause that larvae that's only breathing on one side, because the other sides, the spiracles are in royal jelly, so when it flips out or over, they essentially suffocate. So, and if it's pupae, it could actually damage the wings in later days of development. And they're in that cocoon, it could cause the wings possibly to stick or damage the wings in development. So I don't like to shake up the maternity ward. So that's the only reason I didn't feel comfortable shaking those frames like that. Good suggestion though. Peter says, I believe your t-shirt collection is like mine, all black. You know, I do like wearing black t-shirts, and I've started working my bees in a black shirt. Boy, I worked a hive. I actually had to do a special project early this morning while all the bees were home, just at sunrise. And I did not have I had a black shirt on, but I was fully suited up because of the work I had to do. That hive, they got really, really defensive. And I'm not surprised they haven't found me over here, and they're still holding a grudge. You know how that is, a bee, after you work colonies sometimes, they get mad at you, and then a day later you walk out the door and they're waiting on you. I feel like that colony has my picture inside on their wall, and let's get him next time he shows up. Bob Hicks, what about setting up swarm traps? Yeah, it's a good idea. There's probably, from my experience and what people have told me, I'd say there's a 25% chance that those swarm traps will attract a swarm. Because I've seen it in my own yard when I've had swarm traps out there, that the swarm will fly right over it and right up, 60 feet up into the top of a tree. So it's a little bit of a crapshoot, It's a roll of the dice, but why not try it? I think it's not a bad idea. I hope you've enjoyed me answering these questions. I might do this again. If you leave a comment below and let me know if you enjoyed this or not, and if you did, I may do this more often. Again, I can't answer heavy-duty questions about all the nitty-gritty details of your hive and help you have, everything worked out perfectly with your bees, because beekeeping takes a lot. So I can't always know exactly what you're dealing with, but questions like this are fun to answer. Now let's do coffee time. I'm not going to take a long time doing coffee time. Those of you that enjoy coffee time, you're always saying, hey, I really enjoy coffee time. Well, I want to talk to you about competition. Is competition good or bad? Competition is everywhere. Right now we're watching the Olympics, and there's a lot of competition going on. And if you really practice and train hard, you get really good, you can compete, and you can win a gold medal. Competition means that we want to compete against somebody else, and we want to be the top dog. We want to be first place, and it makes us feel good when we train hard and we win and we get first place. We are competitive in other things that's harmful to us. A lot of people are competitive in the areas of possessions. Oh, like they have a car that I want. I want that Shelby Mustang. I'm competitive. I want to drive their car. I want to have a house like they have. I wish I had what they had. They seem to be in first place in possessions, and I want to be in first place with their possessions. Or we say, they've attained a certain level of success. I want to be that successful as well. I want to succeed at what they've succeeded at. I'm jealous. I'm competitive. And so a competitive spirit can sometimes drive us the wrong way. It can make us too competitive toward other people, and then it makes us start not liking them. Because how did they get to do that? Why couldn't I be that way? And we get a little too competitive sometimes, trying to compete for a better job, that somebody else got a promotion and I didn't. So it's about how you view your competition. Don't become so competitive in beekeeping that you have to have more hives than the next guy. You know what I mean? Or you have to overwinter all your hives. Oh, you lost half of your hives? I didn't lose any hives. I won the competition. There's no competition. You should be sad that somebody lost half the hives, But if they lost half their hives, don't look down on them. Don't think, oh shoot, that guy didn't know what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Maybe he had cancer. He couldn't get out there and treat for mites or something, Maybe his schedule. He lost his job during COVID. He couldn't afford the chemicals that he needed. We got to have a good attitude toward people and help people out. Not be so competitive that we feel like we're better than them because we're doing better. So we have to be careful that our competitive nature, our competitive spirit, doesn't drive us to belittle other people or to push ourselves as more important than others, and so that we fail to help other people. We don't want to get that competitive. Competition is good. Competition is what makes better products, I think. Whether you're an iPhone user, an Android, there's competition between Apple computers and PCs, competition between Ford and Chevrolet. We don't want to become that competitive that we elevate ourselves as the top dog and everybody else is below us. Now, we're all equal and we need to help each other out. So that's coffee time today. It's fun to be competitive. It's fun to be in events of competition, but let's be careful that it doesn't drive us into being very negative. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video today. I really want to ask you to subscribe. It means a lot to me to have more subscribers. I'm trying for 100,000 by the end of the year. And right now, we're not on course to reach that. At best, we're going to hit 75,000. So we're falling short. So we're going to ramp it up somehow. So if you can think of ways to forward these videos to your friends, your fellow beekeepers, I'd appreciate it. Get more people watching the channel. And it's helpful. I'm trying to give you a lot of value by answering questions, by putting a lot of time into showing you how to keep bees. So I hope you do see my sincerity of helping you be a good beekeeper, how to avoid horrible mistakes and keep healthier bees. I'll see you next time.